So I have been doing this for a few months now. I've interviewed reality stars that have been on shows like The Bachelor, Temptation Island, You Now on Project Runway. And I've also interviewed people living in different cities and countries so we can get a feel for what life is like in other places.
So cool.
Yes. So welcome everyone. Welcome back to another episode of The Morning Chat. I'm Gabby Dodato and I'm here with Coral Castillo, who is on Project Runway. So she's going to give us a little bit of insight on what it was like to be on the show. And then also we're going to talk about her as a fashion designer and all of her amazing work. So thank you, Coral, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Awesome. So can you tell us how the opportunity came about to join Project Runway?
Well, I loved the show since the first season, and when I enrolled in college for fashion, I always had this idea. I dreamt about being in the show. And then I started applying. So I applied, I don't know, more than 5 times. I don't remember. And the last times I got into the interview process, and then at the end they wouldn't call me, and then finally they called me after all this time. So, but it was a long process for me, for being persistent and always applying for the show.
Yeah, I think that's a great lesson for everyone that's listening. If you fail at something once, that doesn't mean that it's not for you. You know, you can keep trying and hard work pays off.
Yeah, I truly believe in that.
Yeah. So tell us about some exciting moments from being on the show.
I think I have a lot of exciting moments, but one of the moments that I really enjoy was working with Coco Rocha. Having having her as being my muse, my model, and I admire her work. She's been in the cover of every single magazine. She has worked with all the top designers, all the top brands. Like, she's a supermodel, and no one can pose like her. No one can, like, when I was working with her, I was like, it made my work so easy and so hard at the same time, because we can only choose one photo. Every single photo of her was great. Like, you could use any, you can see it in a magazine. Like, all her poses are perfect for the magazine. Like, she was amazing, and she was so sweet and humble. Like, I really loved her.
That's so funny that you mentioned Coco because I just saw Coco hit the runway at New York Fashion Week. I went to the Chiara Boni show and she walked in it, and that was my first time seeing her in person, and she was just amazing. Her walk, the way she brought the clothing to life, it was
Yes.
beautiful to see. Absolutely beautiful. The models really make the pieces come to life, and I'm sure that you see that as a fashion designer. Certain
Yeah.
models wearing your clothes, it just makes it all come together.
Yeah, and I love to see a models. They come with one personality, and as soon as they wear the clothes, they change and they feel more powerful, depending of what the designer wants the model to be. Like, they really transform with the makeup, the hair, and the clothing. They're another person, and they really transmit that to the audience. And as you say, they make the designs feel alive.
Absolutely. What's maybe something that's difficult about being on the show that someone watching it maybe we don't see? Or some
For me,
challenges?
yeah, for me, the hardest part was the emotional part, because you start making friends. Everyone has the same dream as you. Everyone wants to
Mm,
go until the end. Everyone is very talented, and sometimes the time crunch and the sleepless nights, it makes you maybe not perform as good as a designer as you really are. And then you make friends with the designers, and then they get eliminated. You feel happy that you're still on the show, but you feel sad that your friend or that person that has
oh,
the same dream as you is leaving. So it's always like these kind of emotions. Like, that was the hardest part of all. I was in the bottom. I was about, that was hard, but I don't think it's as hard as seeing one of the competitors got, because you get attached, you live with them,
Yeah.
work with them, like they're your family basically during that period.
Yeah, and everyone's working so hard.
Yes,
It's
yeah,
tough.
yeah.
And do you have a favorite judge of your season?
Um, I Well, I don't know. I love all the judges. I love Nina.
Yeah.
She's been there since the beginning. I love Elaine. I love Brandon. He was so sweet. Obviously, sometimes they have hard comments on your clothes and you feel hurt, but I love them all. I even the guest judges. I love Billy Porter. He was so sweet. I love Gigi Hadid. I was not there, but I got to see her, so it was
Yes.
cool. Yeah, and the president of the CFDA, like you get to see all these people and these people to see your work. So it was great.
Did you think that you would make it that far, or could you tell that you were doing well, or were you just kind of hoping week by week, let's see how this goes? Or sometimes you like your intuition, you kind of
Yeah, my all the time when I was in the competitions, I thought as long as I don't get eliminated, it's good.
yeah.
I didn't get it. At the beginning, I was like, because they called me for judging until the fifth episode. So I was always in the background, and then finally they got to criticize. But I was always happy that I was still in the show, was still in the show.
Yeah. And so it sounds like you've made a lot of great friends. You're still pretty friendly with the other contestants.
Yes, yes, I love them all. Like I feel like they were my family for that period.
Oh,
Yes, yes. And I think that was one of the best parts of the show. You make all these friends, all these connections, especially because I think as a fashion designer, another fashion designer who has suffered the same things as you, we understand each other, we pass through the same thing, and we know how hard it is. So you really have that connection.
yeah. That's so beautiful. That was really well said. So I saw that you were also on a show on Hulu called Stitched, and
Yes,
you won that.
yes,
That's
yes.
amazing.
Yes, I was so nervous in that show. That was my first
Oh,
time in front of the camera. I was so nervous, but yeah, it was a great experience.
wow. And do you have any advice for any designers that are watching that are aspiring to go on any of these shows, how to get casted or anything like that?
Yeah. First, I always felt so bad. Sometimes I cry when they would then say, "Oh no, you're not the person we're looking for," and then I would leave,
Yeah,
start
yeah.
crying. Oh my gosh! But don't take it that personal. Don't
Mhm,
feel bad
mhm.
if they say no to you. Like you get used to people saying no to you, and I think the more you get used to it is the better. The more they tell you no, 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 so
Yeah,
you become
yeah,
stronger. Then you say no. It's like, okay, next time.
yeah.
uh, just don't lose your spirit, or keep fighting and keep doing things even if people told you no. As long
Mhm.
as they don't break your spirit, you will be good to go. And you never know when people is going to start calling you, and every door is going to start opening. At the
Yes.
beginning, I think it happens to everyone. Every single door is like closing your face, closing your face. And the thing is, you just have to take it. That's how life works. And that doesn't mean that you're going to stop doing it. You have to take it strength for that, and don't forget what's your dream, what motivate you to do it on the first time. And if it's worth it, you're going to keep working and trying for it.
Absolutely. Again, that was so well said because I feel like there's so many people that have a dream, and sometimes when we hear no, it can be very easy to, you know, let
Just
that
let
get
it
the
go.
best of you, let it get the best of you, or maybe you feel like maybe I'm not that talented. But the reality is that a lot of these industries are very competitive. So you really just have to keep, pushing forward and believe in your talent, like what you did.
Yes, yes. Yeah, and at
Yeah.
the beginning, I remember when I said, "Oh, I want to be a fashion designer." There was a lot of people who said, "Oh no, you cannot do it," especially because I was a single mom. I just had my,
Mm,
like, there was a lot of people that would tell me, "No, you're not gonna be able to do it. You should not do that. You're crazy." I didn't listen, and I
yeah.
did, and I
Yeah.
went to college to study fashion. Like, if I think that makes you stronger. The more people tells you no, and you really believe in something, you should not let it go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And look at how it paid off, how you listen to yourself and look at, wow, it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah, and I'm doing what I love to do. That's the best part. Sometimes I have to work in a collection, and I have a sleepless nights, but I'm doing it happy because I'm doing what I'm doing and what I love to do. And before I used to work for someone, do whatever I was asked, and now I'm doing what I love to do when I want it. I have my clients, so it's what I want to do, and it doesn't feel so much as a job. It's just doing what you love to do, and you do it happy.
Did you really, when did the thought come to you like, wow, this is what I want to pursue? This is for me. This is what I want.
Well, my mom was a dressmaker. I grew up in Tijuana, and I always love looking at her, like choosing the fabrics and then cutting it, and then seeing the transformation of the dress, and then seeing her clients wearing the dress and seeing themselves in the mirror, and then they completely change. You see one person, and then you see it in a new design, and even their faces, like there is a transformation. I know clothing seems so superficial, but I think it does give confidence and strength to the person when they're wearing it. Like, there is something that clothing does to us just by looking at ourselves in the mirror, and the way you see yourself in the mirror, you let transmit that to everyone, and that they feel that confidence, and they admire you because of that. And that's why I think clothing is very powerful. Like, it can give you the confidence and the strength to pursue also anything. Even if you go to an interview, the way you present yourself, it gives you more opportunities to get the job. So I think it's powerful, and that's one of the things that I started looking since very little with my mom and her clients. That is like, oh, I want to do this. I want to transform women. I want them to look beautiful and feel that strength and confidence by clothing. And it's something I always thought it's clothing. It's something superficial, but it really can affect how you feel and how people sees you. So it's
Yeah.
powerful.
I think we've all had that experience before. I know I have, where I'm out shopping and I try on a dress and, it just changes your whole mood. You look in the mirror, it just makes you feel so confident and beautiful, different clothing.
Yeah, and that's why I love it. I love to create that, and when
Yeah.
I'm designing, I always think of a woman who is a warrior, who is unstoppable,
Yeah.
but at the same time she has still that femininity and that elegance and that soften, being a little bit, having that little bit of sexiness, but not so, the
Yes.
way that is mysterious, and still you want to have that. Like, I'm always thinking of that when I'm designing, because that's how the woman I dress want them to feel.
Right. And I'm sure, as you know, with fashion, trends are always changing. Where do you feel like you get your inspiration from, or how do you stay up to date with all of these trends?
Yes, trends are always changing, and you as a designer, you that's one other thing, you have to keep changing with the trends.
Right.
I think that the way I design, I always think of silhouettes or colors that are timeless, that are classic. Like, you can grab right now a jacket from Balenciaga from the 1920s, a black jacket. You can wear it now, and you will be trending. Like, everyone will look at you and say, "Oh, that's a beautiful jacket." And it's
Right.
the 1920s, a black classic jacket. So I'm always thinking of these silhouettes that are timeless and that you can wear several times. I'm not thinking also with I think fashion is so saturated. There's so much clothes and it pollutes so much. I don't do mass production. Everything I made a collection, and then I ask my clients, okay, which one do you like? And I can make it on your size just for you. So I think I'm gonna keep this method of doing clothing because I don't want to contribute more of the pollution or all these bad things that are coming with fast fashion. And by doing that also, I'm trying to make classical silhouettes. That's why one of my colors of preference is black, because black always looks good. It doesn't matter if it was in 1920 or if it's in 2023. Like, that color is just good at any period. And now we have the color red. It also is very timeless, so I love working with red. So I'm always trying to choose colors and things that can be timeless. And if you see my
Yes.
collections, if you make collections, angels, you can grab any collection, I feel that you can grab any of my designs from any of my collections and put them now. You wouldn't look out of fashion.
No.
It's I'm always trying to have that timeless, and the fabrics that also go with that timeless.
It is so black is one of my favorite colors. I think I have in my closet majority black. Just so many pieces. Like you said, it's just so flattering and it never goes out of style, right? Because you can
Mhm.
have like now hot pink is the color for spring. And then
Yeah,
it's like you could buy so much pink and then maybe next season it's out. So you
yeah,
know that with like neutral colors, you'll keep it in your closet for a long time.
yeah, and it's okay to have one of two very colorful pieces if you like, but I feel like, yeah, those pieces are gonna be good. They're gonna see you and say, oh, that's so 2023, and now it's like 2025. Like, they can see that in black. You cannot tell.
No, no. How did you see opportunities change for you before you were on the show and then after you were on the shows that you were on?
Yeah.
Just
Um, the one of the things I noticed right away is that I got invited to do fashion shows,
right.
at the beginning, if you are a designer, nobody knows you. You have all these fashion companies that, as like, offer you a package as a designer. You have to pay to be on this show, to pay the models, to pay hair makeup people, like all the staff backstage, and you have to pay for all of this. So I was thankful that at the beginning I was receiving all these invitations, and it was all in sponsors. So that was like, oh wow, now I can be doing this show and being sponsored, or even get paid to do these shows. So that
Mm,
was great. And I remember I went to do a show in Houston. They paid for my hotel, they paid
wow.
for the show.
That's
and
incredible.
and right out of the runway, I sold three pieces. And never before, never sold any piece out of the runway. Maybe after, but there was these clients like, okay, I want it. How much is it? And they were willing to pay whatever I said. So that was great. And I got invited to do other shows and also a few other pieces I sold. But yeah, it really gives you visibility. People appreciate you more because they kind of get attached with you, with your experience, your journey with Project Runway. And
Mm.
I think that that's very valuable, especially if you want to work doing this. Obviously, you have to sell and make some money. And yeah, Project Runway help with that.
And how it seems like the fans were very invested as well. Did you get any kind messages, anything that you can recall on social media?
At the end of the show, I was overwhelmed.
Mm.
Um, I received, I haven't counted them. I tried to reply to every single one. There were so many messages, and especially at the end, because I didn't want, but everyone's like, you should have won. I love your collection. I feel
Yeah.
especially Latin people and people who is from Mexico to Venice in this country, they told me, I never felt as proud
Mm,
be, to be from Mexico as you make me feel. Like I feel so proud. That really is like, oh my gosh, that people feel the same as I do, and that they saw that through that collection, and that they felt it. And even people that wasn't from Mexico too, they felt that energy. It was just amazing. I received so many messages. I have saved them all. I have received a lot of emails too, so it was so great.
that's so beautiful. And I'm sure that means so much to you because there was so much work that people don't see for you to get to where you got to. So for everyone, for that to mean something to other people and to touch other people is so special.
Yes, it's yeah, it's I cannot describe it with words. Every single
Mm,
word that I think is so little to tell you. Just to make someone else feel the same as you, and that,
mm,
I don't know. It was amazing.
that is. And is there one designer that comes to your mind if I were to ask you if there's anyone that you look up to or anyone, maybe not for inspiration, but someone that you aspire to be or a designer that you truly look up to? Is there one that comes to mind for you?
Oh, there is so many great designers. I don't know. There's so many. Like I can't.
There are, yeah. Everyone is so talented in their own ways too.
Yes, they are. I love the life of Karl Lagerfeld, with
Okay.
like how great he was, and he was managing Chanel, and then he had his own brand. He was
Mhm.
great. I love Valentino too. Valentino, and he, you see a red Valentino dress, it's timeless too. I love that.
Oh,
They
so
can
gorgeous.
create that. Like you see red and you think Valentino right away.
Yeah.
That they can do something like that, that really makes them stand out from everyone. I think that's amazing. I love Alexander McQueen. Alexander McQueen is always favorite designs there's
Yeah.
all times. Yeah, and I'm so sad that his life was so short. It was so
Oh,
short,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
I love everything he did through his career, and he was a storytelling. Like every
Yes.
single collection had a whole story. It was just so beautiful, and I love that. Like I want to be doing that. Tell you a story
Yeah.
every time I have a collection.
So beautiful. And is there a celebrity, if you could dress any celebrity, who would you pick? Or someone maybe that you haven't dressed yet?
I love Zendaya. Like
Yes.
Zendaya is like, she has like that edginess and that
Yeah.
femininity and
Yeah.
elegance. She has everything. Like oh my gosh, Zendaya. Yeah.
That's so sweet. So what are some of your long-term goals now?
Right now, well, it's always kind of the same thing. Trying to have more visibility for my brand.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be doing a few more shows. I hopefully get an atelier and have everything more stable, because right now I'm doing everything through my house. Like my clients come here, and I wish I could have a proper place just for my clients to come
Yeah.
and see all the clothes, and like a specific place. Uh, but for now, it's like here in my studio, and I'm okay with this for now. But hopefully, that's one of the things I want to have.
Nice. Nice. And you're
Yeah,
based out in Cali?
I'm in LA. Yes.
LA. Nice. It's always exciting watching Project Runway. So really cool
Yeah.
to chat with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
where can anyone watching follow you on social media?
Okay. I have an Instagram. I have two accounts. CC that Coral is more like my personal account, and you can see backstage photos, me working on designs. And then I have my brand account, which is Coral underscore Castillo. And there is where you're going to see only the beautiful model wearing the beautiful dress, the end result, all the good photos. So my account personal and all backstage and all the work. And then the brand one is the final product, like the beautiful model or my client wearing the dresses.
Nice. And I mean, I feel like I already know the answer, but I'll ask this. Do you make any custom pieces? If anyone watching is interested in any custom pieces from you, and what is that process like? How long do you need to know in advance?
Yes, I do custom orders, and I have received, I only do, but it's my designs. I don't do knockoffs. If you show me a Valentino dress and tell me I can do it, but I'm not going to do it, sorry. Because there is a thing that they do that to designers. Some designers do it, but I'm not doing things like that.
Yeah.
You can give me inspiration and I will make something on my style that could be this like that, but my preference is if you pick one of the designs I already have made and I make it to your size. And yeah, feel free to contact me for prices. So at the beginning is 50% of the price, so I can buy the fabrics, I can start the measurements, the patterns, and everything that it's on the first phase. And then with the dress it's all done, you can pay the second part. If anything, the dress get damaged or anything, I will fix it for you for the entire life for free. So I like to take care of my babies, and
Yeah.
after you pay for it, you don't have to pay anyone for fix it for you. I will do it, and it's already in the cost, like for life.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like a great deal.
Thank you.
Oh, and one more question that I thought of. Do you have a piece that you've created that's your favorite piece? A
Uh,
favorite look of yours?
Oh my gosh. I no, I can't decide for one. I- yeah,
It's yeah, too
I,
many.
I have a lot of pieces that are very meaningful to me.
Mm.
Yeah, I can't. No. No. I remember the first time I did a couture dress when I was in college. I love that dress. Maybe it's not as sophisticated and finished as the ones I have now, but still,
Yeah.
that piece mark a phase of my life to where am I now, and it's like I even if it's not like perfect or that is I love it so much because it's what it is in that time. In that time, that dress was was one of my first shows in college. I won that show. I won a scholarship, and that dress
Oh,
was in the cover of Style at the San Francisco Chronicle. And I was like, yeah, that dress is like, oh no, I can't. But then I have through my career, like the dress I made for Coco, that it's one of the challenges. The dress that I made for Mimi, like the sky is the limit. That dress is so meaningful, and I have my Aztec Goddess collection, the finale dress, that red dress all made of macrame. Like there's so many dresses now that I can't say which one is. Every dress had a purpose through my life that
oh,
I can't decide which one.
good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It is tough with fashion to have a favorite because I have that trouble too whenever I'm shopping for something. If I'm even shopping just for a dress for a wedding or something simple like that, it's like you find so many things that you love. It's so hard to pick something.
Yeah.
There's so
That's
many talented designers and pieces and
yes, yes. It's very true.
yeah. Well, thank you so much, Coral, for coming on. I really enjoyed speaking with you and learning about how, you've evolved with fashion and your experience on those shows. So thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.